It is often said that the genuine stories can change the way you think and introduce new ideas. Stories that exist around us, in song, in dance, in art. Because without flux, there is no change. So join me on Teacher's Genuine Stories Season 2 as I look for authentic idea smiths and storytellers. Hi, this is Rahul Bose, and it's good to have you here on Teacher's Genuine Stories Season 2. This season, we are looking at artists whose work has evolved and changed over the years. Who have successfully tweaked the rules of conventional storytelling. They have stepped out of safe zones and yet managed a genuine connect with their audience. With today's storyteller, we step into my world, the world of cinema. Our storyteller today is one of India's most accomplished filmmakers. The stories he tells are a rare blend. They are off the beaten track and yet connect to the mainstream sensibility. Without further preamble, our storyteller today is National Award-winning director Shoojit Sircar. Hey Jay, how are you doing? Namaskar, in this age. Please. So, every Bengali boy wants to become a footballer. Your parents, specifically your father, also was expecting you to do an MBA. How on earth did filmmaking happen?
It just happened. Maybe I think it's by accident. I'm a footballer. I've always wanted to play for India, and I still sometimes dream that I could play for India now, at the age of 50. It was never on my agenda that I want to become a filmmaker. So there's one play and there's one documentary that I watched was about all the Vietnamese soldiers from US. This was a documentary about all the letters that the soldiers have written to their parents. That documentary, it didn't let me sleep for months almost, And then immediately after that, I watched a play by Naseeruddin Shah. It's Andha Youth. These two disturbed me so much that I thought I'll go and do something. So I joined a theatre group as a backstage carpenter. So the group director, he just said कि क्या आता है तेरे को? तो मैंने बोला कि मैं आपका set लगा दूंगा. He liked me and my possibly the way I was working. He said कल भी आना तुम. And since then I became a part of that group.
The next step, I think, was ad films, right, Shoojit?
Yes. So even ad films was just by chance, accident. And suddenly one day, me and him were working together. He just asked me in Bangla, hey, এদিকে বস একটু editing room আমি আসছি. And in that, I asked my editor to just, put some shots together, what he just left. So when he came and the editor showed him said, this is the lineup we done. So then Pradeep asked, তুই করেছিস? So বলতে
तुमने किया?
Yeah, तुमने किया? I said, yeah. So he didn't say anything. So I think somehow that edit lineup that I did, he possibly liked it. So since then, he asked me to always assist him, and so the ad film happened.
When did you think that ad films were not satisfying enough, or that this is a stepping stone to something else?
Major influence was, of course, Satyajit Ray. It's just because when I started doing theatre and I watched Pather Panchali, and that's when I decided that since then it's become my Bible.
This is my favorite part of the chat. It's called the process. But take any example, from the thought to the discussions, to the drafts, to the fight, right till the end, to the national award or international award or whatever it might be, or lots of money at the box office. Take us through your process.
The most interesting process in filmmaking for me is the writing part. From the inception of the film, I start working on every page, every scene. I work with my writers. So if the script takes 1 year or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, I don't mind. I hold on to it. For example, Udham Singh was with me for almost 20 years.
Wow.
So in couple of films, what has happened is we had thought before, while we were writing, we thought who we going to cast. Then comes the shooting part.
Right.
Of course, there are the locations and
Of
hunting,
course,
that's
yeah.
it. Then shooting part. So my shooting style is like a theater. If this is the floor, I leave 2 of you with the script. I'll sit on the corner. This entire place is yours. I make sure they acclimatize. I may put in my suggestion that
Sure.
because what I have conceived, can you do this? Can you do this? It becomes much easier for me to then direct them on my path because they've already acclimatized there and they've already gone through what possibly I would have gone through. So I would not shoot them and call them on the set and I would shoot it today. I may shoot 5 days later.
Right. So you have now material that you're satisfied with, and you're moving into the edit. Editing must be really simple for you.
Yeah, no, I think that's where, other film is made. You know that, Editing table that's my playground. So I'll tell you what happens. You have done, everything is perfect to the T, what you've conceived, everything is absolutely bang on. And you see the first cut.
And it's lifeless.
How pathetic as an artist you are that, you made this film at the end, you sleep, you don't know what to do. Then you restart again.
Oh.
On the editing table.
God.
You start telling the story again, I think, and that's the most fascinating part. And yes, I enjoy editing. I think that's where the film gets made.
This has been one of the most fascinating processes that we have heard on the show. But I still have one more question to ask you, and this is purely selfishly as an actor. There are going to be 5 questions, all centered around one theme. Are you going to be ready for that?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. The one thing that always strikes you about a Shoojit Sircar film are his quirky, flawed, but authentic characters. Let's find out what his brief is to his actors when they play these characters. What was the one thing you told the actor to unlock the character? Deepika Padukone in Piku.
I told her, before you come to the set, you should be a homeopathy expert. And you should know how to check a blood pressure of any senior citizen. Number 2 is you are going to be irritated all the time.
हाँ, मेरे father भी है साथ में. He's an old man.
Third thing is you're going to shout back. So sometimes she would do the scene and she would come, do I have to shout back at him, Mr. Bachchan? Like I said, no, he's not Mr. Bachchan, he's your father, he's an irritating old man. You just shout. So she was quite hesitant till the time she saw the final cut. So these are 3 things I told her.
Okay, Irfan.
For Rana.
For Rana.
In Piku.
In Piku.
Well, this was the most difficult character for us also. So my only thing was, Irfan, you are sandwiched in the middle of this father and daughter. So you ask all questions which an audience would want to ask. You are the mirror for the audience.
Next, let's talk about Ayushmann Khurrana in Vicky Dona.
I told him you are clueless about your future. You're jobless and you just love to go to malls and pick up branded shoes and clothes. That's what you are all about as a Punjabi kid.
Such a beautiful portrayal, Mr. Bachchan in Gulabo Sitabo as Mirza.
One, I said, you are a rampant liar. Nobody understands what you speak. Nobody should understand what you think. You just min, you just talk. That's the second thing I told him. And third, nothing affects you. You have a tunnel vision for the mansion, that's it.
And finally, What did you tell Varun when he played Dan in October?
I have just one word for Varun, just that you be clumsy. And another thing that happened was I told him that what is the next scene I'm going to shoot? I will never tell you. You just react the way and what you see. So that's how I treated Varun for October.
Shoojit, that was fascinating. Thank you. Come. We're at the end of our journey for this season. This journey unraveled in different ways through disparate stories. Our stories were everywhere, in the skeins of fabric, in the unbridled energy of contemporary dance, in a laugh laughed out loud and uproariously, in reimagined rock music, and finally, in cinema. The canvas was wide, the storytellers were authentic, and their stories were genuine and life-affirming. It is with joy then that I bid you goodbye, but only for now, because I will be back with a new chapter of Teachers' Genuine Stories. So till then, this is Rahul Bose, signing off.
It was never on my agenda that I want to become a filmmaker. There's one documentary that I watched was about all the Vietnamese soldiers from US. And this was a documentary about all the letters that the soldiers have written to their parents. That documentary, it didn't let me sleep for months almost, These disturbed me so much that I thought, I'll go and do something.